over it. Brora, the post town of Gavon, lies some 6 miles to the southwest, and from it a track over the moor leads to the rapids immediately above the Pict Spool, across which, by somewhat extravagant striding from boulder to boulder, a man can pass dryfoot when the river is low, and make his way up a steep path to the north of the basaltic rock, and so to the village. But this transit demands a steady head, and at the best is a somewhat giddy passage. Otherwise, the road between it and Brora lies in a long detour higher up the moor, passing by the gates of Gavon Lodge where I was stopping. For some vague and ill-defined reason, the pool itself and the Pict's castle had an uneasy reputation in the countryside, and several times, trudging back from a day's fishing, I have known my ghillie take a longish circuit, though heavy with fish, rather than make this short cut in the dusk by the castle. On the first occasion when Sandy, a strapping, yellow-bearded Viking of 25, did this, he gave as a reason that the ground round the castle was mossy, though as a God-fearing man he must have known he lied. But on another occasion he was more frank, and said that the Pict's Pool was no canny after sunset. I am now inclined to agree with him, though when he lied about it, I think it was because, as a God-fearing man, he feared the devil also. It was on the evening of September 14th that I was walking back with my host, Hugh Graham, from the forest beyond the lodge. It had been a day unseasonably hot for the time of year, and the hills were blanketed with soft, furry clouds. Sandy, the ghillie of whom I have spoken, was behind with the ponies, and idly enough, I told Hugh about his strange distaste for the Pict's Pool after sunset. He listened, frowning a little. "That's curious," he said. "I know there is some dim local superstition about the place, but last year, certainly, Sandy used to laugh at it. I remember asking him what ailed the place, and he said he thought nothing about the rubbish folk talked. But this year you say he avoids it. On several occasions with me he has done so." Hugh smoked a while in silence, striding noiselessly over the dusky, fragrant heather. "Poor chap," he said. "I don't know what to do about him. He's becoming useless." "Drink?" I asked. "Yes, drink in a secondary manner. But trouble led to drink, and trouble, I'm afraid, is leading him to worse than drink." "The only thing worse than drink is the devil," I remarked. "Precisely. That's where he's going. He goes there often." "What on earth do you mean?" I asked. "Well, it's rather curious," said Hugh. "You know I dabble a bit in folklore and local superstition, and I believe I am on the track of something odder than odd. Just wait a moment." We stood there in the gathering dusk till the ponies labouring up the hillside to us, Sandy with his 6 feet of lithe strength strolling easily beside them up the steep brae, as if his long day's trudging had but served to half awaken his dormant powers of limb. "Going to see Mistress Macpherson again tonight?" asked Hugh. "Aye, pure body," said Sandy. "She's old and she's lone." "Very kind of you, Sandy," said Hugh, and we walked on. "What then?" I asked when the ponies had fallen behind again. "Why, superstition lingers here," said Hugh, "and it's supposed she's a witch. To be quite candid with you, the thing interests me a good deal. Supposing you asked me on oath whether I believed in witches, I should say no. But if you asked me again on oath whether I suspected I believed in them, I should, I think, say yes. And the 15th of this month, tomorrow, is Gavon's Eve." "And what in heaven's name is that?" I asked. "And who is Gavon? And what's the trouble?" "Well, Gavon is the person, I suppose, not saint, who is what we should call the eponymous hero of this district. And the trouble is Sandy's trouble. Rather a long story, but there's a long mile in front of us if you care to be told. During that mile I heard. Sandy had been engaged a year ago to a girl of Gavon, who was in service at Inverness. In March last he had gone, without giving notice, to see her, and as he walked up the street in which her mistress's house stood,